Hi, I'm Matt Ricker,
And I'm Catherine White, Executive Director of the New Rochelle Chamber of Commerce.
and we're here with Season 2 of the Chamber Chat. And joining us now is Commissioner Neil Reynolds from the New Rochelle Police Department. Thank you, Neil, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your background. You were just promoted to New Rochelle Police Commissioner back in
Yay.
June, so congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So tell us a little bit about how you started with New Rochelle and how you ultimately worked your way up.
Okay, well, thank you for having me again.
Sure.
I was raised here in New Rochelle, not too far from here, probably 10, 20 blocks from here. And I went through the New Rochelle school system until I was in the 8th grade, and then I switched over to Iona Grammar School, and then went to Iona Prep.
Nice.
And wound my way through colleges, and then I came here to Iona, graduated here, and that was it. I was working in security. I took the test, the police exam, and because I wanted to try to help out here in New Rochelle. I love New Rochelle. And I was hired, and I started out like everybody else does, as a patrol officer on the street, and I was working. I worked the midnight tour.
Oh.
I worked the midnight tour for a couple of years, and I worked the midnight tour before I had kids, which was a lot easier, and I worked the midnight tour as a supervisor after I had kids, which was a little bit more difficult. But after I was in patrol for a while, I was assigned to the PACT unit, the Police and Community Together unit.
Oh,
and
one of my faves.
Yeah, that's a great unit. We still have it. And there, I was a bike officer, so I rode the bike. We have electric bikes now, which we'll talk about, I guess, a little bit later. But I rode the bike. I was a DARE officer. I was actually speaking to somebody who's looking into the DARE program to do some research. She left the year before I went to DARE school. She was a DARE student, and she was at Ward. I went to Ward, and I was actually, oh, did you? I was a DARE officer in Ward, and I really liked the fact that I was able to be a DARE officer at Ward, because it made for a great connection with the kids to be able to say, hey, I sat there, I walked these same halls as you did, and I think Ward School, I hope everybody doesn't get mad, I think Ward School is the best elementary school in the city.
I agree.
And so I did that for a while, and then I was promoted to detective. I went to the property theft unit, and I spent a number of years there, and I loved that work. And then I went to be a supervisor. I became a sergeant. I was promoted to sergeant on the midnight tour, and then I went to be a lieutenant I became a lieutenant on the midnight tour, and then after several years doing that, I was assigned to the Internal Affairs Unit, where I was a lieutenant and then promoted to detective lieutenant. And from there, I became a captain in a new division, the professional development and community engagement. And after that, I was appointed to be the deputy police commissioner, and I did that for a couple of years. And then when now retired Commissioner Gazzola announced his retirement, I was appointed to be the police commissioner.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's
that's
a
great.
very impressive career.
Long-standing New Rochelle career.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So I know you also have, you mentioned you went here at Iona University,
Yes.
college then,
College.
but you also have a background in law, right?
Yes. So I got my degree, ultimately got my degree, and I wanted to pursue my master's, which I started. And as I was doing that, I thought, I've always wanted to be an attorney, always wanted to go to law school, and I was, I guess, I don't know if I was impatient, but I just said, if I'm going to get my master's, why don't I just go to law school? A year in law school is, for me at that time, I thought it was better than a year getting the master's. Since I thought that I would eventually go to law school at some point anyway, I said, let's do it now. So I then I applied and was accepted and graduated from the Elizabeth Haub School of Law, which was then, all the schools that I've gone to have changed their names. It's now the Elizabeth Haub School of Law. When I was there, it was Pace University School of Law. Okay. And I went there, got my degree, passed the bar, and started to practice part-time and use my knowledge of law, certain parts of it, and use the way I was trained to think as an attorney
Yeah.
in my job now.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sure it must be a huge help.
yeah,
A huge
it
asset.
was a help. It's not as much as people think with the criminal law, because it's, as police officers, if we arrest somebody, it's when we have probable cause to arrest someone. You don't use it. It's just a way of thinking. It just
Right.
helps a little. But we have a number of police officers that do not have. I think we have right now we have 2 officers, myself and another officer, lieutenant, and we have law degrees. What I'm trying to say is that we have a number of officers who don't have a law degree, obviously, and they are the tops. They are just as smart as I am. Some of them are a lot smarter than me.
So I know you're big on the Unity Tour that goes
Yes.
to DC
Yes.
every year. So tell us a little bit about that. How long have you been doing it? What's it all about?
So I've done it a couple of years. So the Police Unity Tour is a tour that was started to honor police officers who have been killed in the line of duty, and honor their memory and honor their family. And every year the ride is down to DC, and it starts at various parts throughout the country. New York obviously starts in New York. I now ride, that's the Police Unity Tour, I now ride with a group called Law Enforcement United. Same mission, same thing, it's just about where you go. So the Police Unity Tour ends up at the Police Memorial, and the Law Enforcement United, we end up where we meet the survivors of officers who were killed in the line of duty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very, very moving.
It must be
very
emotional,
moving.
right?
It is extremely emotional. The chapter that I am in is named Chapter 37, and that's named after the 37 Port Authority police officers who were killed in the World Trade Center on September
Oh, wow.
11th, 2001. And we have a number of members. I didn't ride last year because my son was graduating from school, so I couldn't go, but I'll be back this year. And 2 of the members that we have are wives of officers who were killed in the line of duty, and these are 2 of the strongest women that I've ever met. They are inspirational. And when we get there, we meet, there are these bracelets that we ride with, and we have a name. If you know a person or if you know a family, you can have them, and you ride, and after the ride, we meet them in a hotel. There's a hotel, I can't remember the name of the hotel. I think Washington Hilton, I believe.
Okay.
We all ride there, and we meet there, and you meet the families and
Of the person on your bracelet.
Of the person on your bracelet. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
really
it's great,
moving.
and we raise money for the Law Enforcement Memorial,
Yeah.
and we cops concerns of police survivors, and money goes to them for camps for kids whose moms or dads were killed in the line of duty.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's
That really is.
extremely
Yeah.
fulfilling. It's really one of the most emotional things I've done.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for doing that. That's really moving.
Don't
and-
thank me. There are thousands of people who do it, thousands of
Yeah.
officers. And it's not just officers who do it, it's family members ride with us, survivors actually ride with us. We had a son of one of the Port Authority police officers that was killed that day rode with
Oh,
us. He's a
my.
police officer himself.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's
What a
really
legacy.
moving. Really,
Yeah.
really moving.
Wow.
Wow. So let's move on to the size of the department. So tell us about the size of the department, how many officers, detectives, lieutenants there are, and if there's any openings opening up, a civil service test coming up for it.
Okay. Well, we have 192 sworn officers. Our total
Nice.
department with officers, sworn officers, civilian staff, and non-sworn uniformed civilians, our CSOs, community service officers, altogether we're about 250 people.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's a great size. The men and women that I am honored to work with, they really do a good job. They come to work every day. They want to do a good job, and I'm very happy to see that. And my job is to try to not be in their way. I'm trying to get them what they need to do the job that they're asked to do. They have a difficult job because there's a lot of times people are unhappy with us for obvious reasons. If we have to issue a summons or make an arrest, or sometimes people are just having a hard day, and we come and we try to help, and they don't want us to help sometimes, and we have to give them some space and help them out the best we can. And sometimes they don't like it, but that's very rare. Most of the people that we come into contact with are really nice people. They really appreciate what we do, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah. So one of the units that we work with a lot from the Chamber of Commerce is the new bicycle packed unit, right?
Well, it's the Downtown Bike Patrol.
Downtown Bike Patrol, that's what it is. They come to the grand openings, they get to meet the business owners. I know that the business owners just feel great, A, to see their presence on the streets, but great to even meet them and just, catch a name or say hello, name to face, so that they just, really feel more comfortable in their businesses downtown. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was an initiative started by retired Commissioner Gazzola, and it's something where we're trying to make sure that we do just that. We're about community engagement, and when I took the position, I was thinking, because I've said it, for the better part of my career, community engagement, and I realized, people don't really understand that. That means it's something different to everybody. So
True.
we have to make sure that we are interacting in very different ways. We have officers that are on the bikes, we have officers on motorcycles, we have officers, sometimes they will go on foot, and we have officers in the cars and the motorized bikes and the pedaling bikes. And we want those officers in the downtown business district to be there to do exactly what you said, to engage with the community, to meet people. The other part of their job is to handle quality of life issues, to be around. What we're trying to do is balance, if you will, accountability with empathy, right? You can be held accountable, right? And we will hold you accountable, but we can also be empathetic to what your plight is. If you have people that are, you might have a number of people who are unhoused, and they're not doing anything, there's no crime there, so there's no accountability to be held, but the empathetic part comes in understanding that situation and trying to help them get to a place they want to be, get to a better place. And there we're trying to partner with other agencies to help the person, because the police officers, we can only go so far, but we can actually partner with other groups and put them in touch with people, and we try to do that as well. And that's a lot easier to do, if you will, easier in that the bike is such a personal engagement thing.
Right.
I used to ride the bike. You're right there with people. In a car, you're a little bit detached. You're driving by. Even 5 miles an hour is kind of fast in a car, But the bike, you're right there going down the street. People stop you. They say hi. That was one of the best times I had as a police officer. I still see people now who remember me when I was on the bike.
Right.
So that's a lot of fun.
I do kind of engage them every time they go by, or when I'm in the downtown, just say hi and whatever. So they're always stopping, and then usually other people, when they stop to talk to me, other people come over and say, oh, hey, So it does just always generate conversations.
That's right. That's exactly right. Even if it's just about the bike, tell me about the
exactly.
bike.
Because
that's the way
big
in.
fat tires, it's an electric bike. It's very intriguing.
That's right, and that's like I said, that's our way in to engagement, where we can start to break down the barriers. And you me, somebody said, hey, you're the bike guy, you used to ride around on the bike, and they still remember that, because we would talk about any number of things. It's not just all policing all the time. It's about, hey, how'd the Mets do? Talk about my Jets, who had I don't want to talk about my Jets, but we so it's engagement on all levels, and the bike is certainly a great entree to that for us.
Oh, nice. So, the department sponsors a lot of events.
Yes.
Just to name a few, there's Touch a Truck, there's National Night Out, which is usually in August. But the two that are coming up are Operation Blue Santa and Light the Night. So can you tell us about those two events?
Right. So Operation Blue Santa is not per se a department-led initiative. It's actually led by the PBA.
Okay.
So the PBA, the men and women of the PBA, they get together and they buy gifts, and they go around the city and they give gifts to kids that might not get a gift, or as many gifts as some other families give. So they do that, and they just try to bring some joy to some of the people
Yeah,
around the city.
it's really great. I saw
That's
them last
amazing.
year. I happened to be at Modern, and they came by, and then we went outside and waved, and they stopped, and then a crowd gathered, and Santa is there in a blue outfit.
In a blue outfit, that's right.
And he was in the back of a truck, and there were a bunch of other police escorts, and they were, not to say throwing gifts, but almost like tossing gifts to people or
That's
candy
right.
canes and stuff. Everybody wanted a photo. It was
Right.
so fun, and just like a spontaneous happening because
Yes.
they kind of slowed down on Huguenot Street.
Yes.
And then half of Modern Restaurant came out just to see it and take a photo.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
was really fun.
Yeah, that's the best part of it. It's something that's planned, but you never know when we're going to be on your block. You never know
Right.
when we're going to come around, and that's just a great job by the PBA. They do it, and members from the SOA join in also. That's the union that represents the supervisors. They join in also. So everybody gets together
Yeah.
and gets in the Christmas spirit.
Oh, that's
the
great.
the other event that you mentioned is Light the Night, and that takes place at the Maria Ferreri Children's Center.
It's
I
at
hope I
Valhalla,
said-
right?
In Valhalla, yes, at the Westchester Medical Center.
Right.
There's the children's
Uh-huh.
wing, excuse me. And there, police departments from all over Westchester get together at a specific place and time, and they all have decorated police cars with Christmas lights
Oh.
and tinsel and everything. And they just get in a caravan and they go around, and they go in front of the hospital, and they stay there for a while, sirens and things like that. I know it's hospital quiet zone, but they do that.
Well, it's
and-
Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas. And the kids who are unfortunately in the hospital, they are at the windows and trying to
that's
make
so
them
sweet.
feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really great event. So we've done that. We've done that several times, and we've gotten better at what we do each time. The first year, I think we partially wrapped our truck and added lights, and now there are new lights, and
Inflatables.
the people that do it, they
and-
really get into it.
Yeah.
You see
Oh,
some
that's
great
Yeah.
looking police cars, and it's
Yeah.
it's great to see all the officers really have a good time bringing joy and happiness to those kids and their families.
That's
That's
great. Well,
great.
we appreciate your leadership and New Rochelle Police Department's willingness to do an event like that.
Yeah, it's
that brings a lot of special memories, I'm sure, for the kids and lifts up their spirits.
Yeah, hopefully, because they're in tough situations.
Definitely.
So as we wrap up, what would your main advice be to someone who's looking to become a police officer?
And are there any tests or opportunities coming up in the future?
I'm not sure if there will be a test coming up. It would be announced in the new year,
Okay.
if there is. But I would tell them to study. Work. So the New Rochelle Police Department, we have a college requirement. You have to have 60 credits, or you have to have 2 years of military service and 30 credits.
Okay.
I think that it's us and New York City. They just changed their requirement to 30 credits. But towns and villages throughout Westchester County, nobody else has a college requirement.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Good to
that's
know.
one thing.
Yeah.
So I would keep my eye. If you want to become a police officer and you know where you want to go to the website. Most police officers, most police departments have websites that have all that information on what the requirements would be and when their test is coming up. And so that's good. And that's the same if you want to be here in New York or you want to go out of state, and you can find what those requirements are. Once you do that and you know what it is you want to do, where you want to apply, then find out if they have any training materials for the test that you would have
Oh.
to take.
Good
So you
advice.
can study for the test and do the best that you can.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is to stay in good physical shape, because there's always going to be some physical component to the test that usually pairs with the written portion of the exam, and that will give you your overall score. And you would be surprised at how many people do well on the test but fail the physical. And that's a problem, because there's only one shot you have to take that physical. And you have to wait until the next cycle of tests and then take it again. And
again.
that could be in some places, like
couple-
Yonkers gives it every 4 years, and that's it. Some places give it an exam every 2 years.
Right.
nobody that I know gives, other than New York City, they are always giving an exam, but generally people don't give an exam every year.
Yeah.
But the larger departments do because they have so many needs, so much
Right.
attrition, so they can bring people in every year. But
Right.
that's what I would
Yeah.
say, to work hard, study hard, and stay in shape. And the other thing, you do not need to go to school for criminal justice. Personally, I prefer people, criminal justice is great, but we'll teach you what you need to know about the law. I want somebody who's well-rounded, because everybody that we meet on the street and deal with, they aren't criminal justice majors. They aren't going to be talking in that language. They're going to be from all different kinds of
Right.
backgrounds. So I want a diverse group of officers who can talk to people from all fields, and that's great. Give me a delivery person who has had some customer issues. You know, the pizza was different than the one they ordered, you
Right.
know, all those
Yeah.
things. Give me the person who knows how to talk to people, because at the end of the day, the most important thing that a police officer, the most important tool that a police officer can have are good communication skills. That's, if you have that, you're going to do very, very well.
Excellent. Well,
great.
that's good advice, because
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that. So
Yeah.
you want a well-rounded person.
Oh, absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Like I said, we deal with people from all over the world, different different levels of finances, everything. So we need people that can communicate well.
Right.
Excellent.
Well, Commissioner, thank you very much for joining us today, and
appreciate you
again,
having me.
congratulations on your promotion. And,
Thank you.
And it was great having you here. We hope to have you back on again in the future.